Hello Year 3, welcome back. So yesterday you had a look at the features of a diary entry. Can you remember any of those features? So we had that it includes the date or the time. It's written in the first person, so it uses I, me, my, we, us and our. It uses the past tense for the main events. It includes an introduction to set the scene. It tells the events in chronological order. And it includes personal emotions and feelings. So, an important feature of a diary entry is that they are always written in the first person because the audience of a diary entry is the person that is writing it. So, it uses the pronouns I, me, my, mine, we, us, our, and ours. So, in your home learning pack, you have 4 sentences and they are written in the third person. You need to change them so that they are written in the first person. So here's an example. Max crossed the road safely with his family. So if we're going to write this in the first person as if we were Max, we would say, I crossed the road safely with my family. Okay, so pause the video and complete that activity now. Well done, let's see how you did. So our first one, when Max arrived in the park, he felt overjoyed. That would be, when I arrived in the park, I felt overjoyed. Number 2, he watched as his brothers and sisters rolled around on the grass. That would be, I watched as my brothers and sisters rolled around on the grass. So you can see we're using those first person pronouns. Number 3, Max wandered off on his own. I wandered off on my own. Number 4, Max was alarmed to hear a sound coming from behind a bush. I was alarmed to hear a sound coming from behind a bush. Okay, so well done if you got those right. So you are now going to write your own diary entry. Okay, you're going to imagine that you are one of the lucky children who got to go inside Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. So we've done lots of work on Charlie already, so I would like you to choose somebody different today. We've got Augustus Gloop, Violet Beauregarde, Mike TV and Veruca Salt. So you're going to write about what their day was like when they went to the factory. So let's remind ourselves about what happened to the other 4 children. So Augustus Gloop, we know he loved chocolate and he jumped straight into the chocolate river as soon as he got to the factory and got stuck in the pipe. So when he left the factory, he was covered in chocolate. Violet Beauregarde, she loved chewing gum, didn't she? And she tried Willy Wonka's new invention of the chewing gum meal, but when it got to the blueberry pie section, she started to turn into a giant blueberry and then she had to be juiced. So when she left the factory, she was really, really flexible. Now, Veruca Salt was a very, very spoiled little girl and she wanted one of the squirrels from the nut room. But when she went down to try and get one of the squirrels, they thought that she was a bad nut and they sent her down the rubbish chute and her dad ended up going down there to help her as well. And the last person is Mike TV, who ended up turning really, really tiny because he tried Willy Wonka's new invention without listening to him. So then to try and fix him, the Oompa Loompas stretched Mike TV and now he's really, really tall and really, really thin. Okay, so you're going to write about their day. So whoever you decide to choose, think about what happened to them while they were at the chocolate factory and make sure you're thinking about how they would feel after what's happened to them. So I've done an example for Veruca Salt. Today was supposed to be the most magical day ever, but it was actually the worst day of my life. When I arrived at Mr. Wonka's factory with Daddy, I felt so excited. I couldn't wait to look inside. The factory was amazing and I wanted it all. I told Daddy to get me my own chocolate river, my own edible grass, giant lollipops, and he said yes. When we reached the nut room, I really wanted one of the squirrels, but no matter how many times I asked, my daddy said no. So I decided to go and get one myself. I didn't care what anyone thought. When I got near the squirrels, they all surrounded me and dragged me into the rubbish chute. How dare they do that to me? It smelt revolting. Of course, my daddy came to rescue me, but we were both covered in rubbish. I was so upset and embarrassed. Daddy says he will buy me my own chocolate factory that will be better than the nasty Mr. Wonka's. Okay, so think about which child you are going to choose and write your diary entry in your home learning pack.